You guys, I'm letting Facebook choose my reading this week. I don't know if I should be scared or not. Hey everyone, it's Mary. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm doing a very different video for you guys. I'm going to be doing letting Facebook ads determine what I read this week. So as you guys know, I'm a crazy reading person, and I have noticed that Facebook ads are definitely very plentiful on my timeline. I'm sure all of you have seen this as well. If you search for something, suddenly Facebook is recommending those to you, and mine are mostly ads for books. Just being honest. So I thought, why don't I give this a try? Let me pick a few books off of these Facebook ads, anything that kind of really catches my attention, and read them and review them for you guys. So I decided to pick out 4 books. I'm going to show you guys what the ad looked like. So if you are an author and you're like, I wonder if my Facebook ad works, you will find out today whether or not your Facebook ad worked. So I'm going to show you what the ad looked like. I'm going to tell you what kind of caught my attention, and then I will do a short reading vlog of each book as I read them. So starting off strong, the very first one did not take long for me to pick. Let me scoot over so I can put the ad up here. If you know me well, you will know why I chose this one. Beauty and the Beast romance. You guys, I didn't even need to hit the see more to just click on the book and see what it says on Amazon, because y'all know I am obsessed with Beauty and the Beast retellings. So I have my computer over here. I'm going to read to you what the description on Amazon is for this book. Here's the beautiful book cover. I will leave this ad up here, and here is what it says. It says, Danielle Bellamy is broken out of options until I offer her a lifeline, $1 million to play my wife. Danielle Bellamy is mine. For the next year, the curvy photographer is staying in my secluded mansion wearing my ring, a ruse to exact revenge against the man who destroyed me. Only every time I gaze into her dark eyes, I forget we are pretending. Her kiss is intoxicating, her touch is addicting, and when we finally fall into bed, it's not enough. I need more than her body, I need her everything. So it sounds to me like he's been in an accident or something, and for some reason he chooses this chick to be his fake wife. So it's a big dating trope. It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I am here for it. The second book that I picked, here is the picture of the first part of the ad, and on the bottom it just says a billionaire office romance, which you guys know I love, boss employee romances, so I was here for it. And then I have the ad over here on my computer, so you know. So anyway, it says he's totally off limits and she signed the paperwork that says so. So let's click over, let's click see more and see what it says. And I'm reading, and it looks like Chloe Jones is ready for a fresh start. Shame, her vengeful ex, is making it difficult for her. That is until she lands the job of her dreams. What she wasn't expecting was to come face to face with the hot stranger from her island escape, Noah Stone, New York's biggest playboy and her new boss. All she can think about is those lips and the way he fills out his suit pants. A billionaire office romance. So when you click on the link, it takes you to this book right here, which is Off Limits by J.A. Lowe. It looks like this is part of a series. It's called the Playboys of New York series, and definitely sounds interesting. I love office romances, so I have downloaded this book to read as well. The third book that popped up was actually Waking Olivia, which I have seen several people talk about on this whole booktube world over the last, 6 months to a year. Several people have read this and reviewed it, and it's one of those ones that's been on my TBR list, but I've never actually been given a Facebook ad recommendation for a book I've seen talked about on booktube. So I was like, ooh, it's watching me. So anyways, Waking Olivia, I won't go into too much detail. I did not really pay that much attention to the blurb, because as soon as I saw what book it was, I was like, oh, I've heard of this book before. I know people love it, so I'm gonna obviously pick this one because I know this is one that other people have read. But when I did click down into it, it looks like it is a section of a scene where, I guess it's the scene when they act on their feelings, if you read the little section, and it talks about that it's a captivating enemies to lovers slow burn romance. Now read this now by clicking the link below to get your copy, or read for free with your Kindle Unlimited subscription. Very detailed, so I decided to download that one. It is one that I've seen many people here on BookTube talk about, so we'll see if I like it. And I think it's really funny that it actually advertised the book to me, so yay. And here is the last ad that I clicked on. I tried to pick 4 different books because it was recommending a ton of Mafia. And I was like, there's more than Mafia. So when I saw this was just a dark romance, but not a Mafia, I was like, I'm here for it. Very nice cover. I love the colors in the cover. Like the purple and the man in the suit's very nicely done. And the blurb says, he owns a private island that caters to every whim. He bought me to serve those whims. 5 times USA Today best-selling dark romance, ready to binge read on Kindle Unlimited now. So obviously you can tell from the cover, it is called Once a Myth by Pepper Winters. This is book 1 of the Goddess Isles series. I've never heard of this series before. I've heard of this author, but I don't know the series. So I'm going to read the book blurb to you if it's any different. Let's see. Yeah, it is. It says, there was a boy once, a boy who wasn't strong enough to save me when I was taken. There was a girl once, a girl called Tess Snow, who sat with me in the dark waiting to be sold. There was once an owner who bought me, entrapped me, and made me his unwilling goddess. Eleanor Grace is a naive dreamer, trusting and young. She believes her travel-loving boyfriend can save her when her freedom is snatched and sold. Squirreled away to an island at dawn, delivered to a man even darkness won't touch, she's bound by a contract. Sullivan Sinclair is the giver of fantasies, any wish, any desire. He's the master of quenching any appetite. His private paradise and perfectly trained goddesses are there for one purpose, to ensure every guest is extremely well satisfied. He bought her, he trapped her, she belongs to him. So, we will see. This one sounds like it could be really, I don't know, graphic, but we will see. It also sounds intriguing. So I decided to download this one as well. So that is the 4 books I have picked off of Facebook ads, and we'll see how this goes. We will be back. Hey everyone, it's Mary popping in to do a quick update for you guys. I am getting ready to go to bed, actually. There's a fan above my head, which is lovely. I'm actually getting ready to climb into the machine, my Flexitouch machine for my lymphedema, and read a little bit more. But I started reading at lunch break Once a Myth by Pepper Winters. Is it Once a Myth, Once Upon a Myth? The book cover will be over here. That book. I started reading at lunch break today, and I'm about 20% into the book so far. I'm hoping to get to about the 50% mark because I have an hour in the machine, so we'll see how I do. But so far, it's okay. It's better than I thought it would be. So it starts off with Eleanor Grace, who's the main female character, and she is kidnapped while on vacation with her boyfriend, and basically taken by these people that are stealing for sex slavery and sex trafficking. And it starts off really rough in the first couple chapters. It's kind of hard to get through. She has these scenes about her being beaten and being stripped of her clothing and, you know, being tagged and branded and all this stuff to go into sex trafficking. It's not an easy read. And at the end of the chapter, she is then sold to someone, I guess, who bought her for... Apparently this sex trafficking, they take the girls and sell them to buyers, so either for brothels or prostitution rings or whatever else they happen to be buying these girls for. And so you find out she has been sold to a private investor. And then you're introduced to Sullivan, who's the male character in the book, and he owns a private island. It's a very brief introduction. You don't know much about him at this point. It's a brief introduction, and he owns an island, a private island, where he sells fantasies to people. So basically you can put an order in and be like, I want a brown-haired girl of X age to do the following things for me. And you can purchase this for several $1,000s for a week with this person. So this is who she's been sold to. And I have a feeling this could either be really BDSM-ish or kinky. But there actually hasn't been anything yet. It's just been mostly an introduction to like this sex trafficking and then this brief introduction of Sullivan and his crazy island thing that he runs. So far, I do like it. I'm very intrigued. I'm excited to keep reading. So I'm hoping, like I said, to get about 50% in. And I really do like Eleanor Grace's character so far. She's very strong-willed. So whereas the rest of the girls are crying, begging, falling apart, trying to resist, trying to fight, she's fighting in a different way. So she's very like stoic, and she won't cry, and she's not getting angry, and she's basically like keeping herself very emotionally withdrawn, and she keeps saying like, I won't let them break me, this is temporary, and eventually if I bide my time and I behave myself, I will find a way to break free of this. So I like her strong-willed character so far, and I'm anxious to see how this all works out. So far so good. Hey guys, it's the next morning. I ended up staying up and reading for a little bit longer than an hour last night, so I made it 63% of the way through the book, and it definitely got spicy. I'm actually really enjoying this. It's a very interesting plot that I normally would have DNF'd, but I'm really liking the way this is written. So the story goes that this little private island that this guy runs, he doesn't like he enslaves girls, but the author's trying to make him be nice about it. So basically he only uses their services for 4 years, and they're actually treated really well. They're on this like paradise tropical island where all their medical care, everything they could want, clothes, food, everything is provided for them. The only thing that he asks in return is that they service his clients. He also uses an elixir of some sort that's like a drug these girls take that basically makes them super horny and they want to service the clients. So that is how they do it willingly. So there's not like people are raping the girls. They use this drug to make them want to perform services for him, and in return he provides them with this like luscious lifestyle where they have all the things they could ever want on this magical tropical island. So I'm like, normally I'd be like, and I would DNF, but I actually am really intrigued by this particular book. Also, I have to say, I absolutely love the female character in this book. She's very, very strong-willed. I don't like the man in this book too much yet. I'm waiting for the author to make him redeemable at 63% of the way through the book. I don't know how she's going to make him likable. So I hope she's able to pull that off. Also, it's kind of a slow burn, but kind of not a slow burn. So the couple has still not consummated the relationship yet. They had one scene where she was high on the elixir, and he was doing it like out of anger to prove a point to her that like, I don't have to have them rape you, you will want to. And so he gives her the elixir and he comes very close, like very close, but nothing goes all the way. So I'm like, okay, 63%, it's kind of slow burn, but kind of not a slow burn. And it's a plot that I would normally absolutely hate and DNF, that I'm like, ooh, I want to keep reading. So yeah, hopefully I will be able to finish this book today, but I have a lot of work to do, so I don't think I'll be able to get back to it till later, but it's actually really good so far. It ends on a cliffhanger. It ends on a cliffhanger. I hate cliffhangers. So this entire book, the couple never actually gets together. I think you have to read like all 7 books to get the HEA. Yeah, I'm not going to read book 2. So here, it's an interesting premise. I kind of want to read because I want to see what the heck happens and how she gets off the island and if she gets off the island. But honestly, this guy's for lack of a better term, the guy's a dick. And he's not redeemable at all. So far. I don't know that I really want to read the next book to find out if this guy is less jerky. Yeah, it ends on a cliffhanger, and I don't know that I want to read the rest. I'm kind of disappointed because I was super intrigued. And then when I started hitting like the 85% mark, I'm like, this is going to end on a cliffhanger. And it did. Like, dang it. I mean, the storyline is great. It was not very romantic. I mean, they basically wanted to jump each other's bones. There was no like falling in love with each other. maybe it happens later on. It's a 7-book series. So, like, maybe it happens in, like, book 3. I don't know. Or 4. I don't know. But I think I'm done. I don't even know how to rate this book. As far as, like, a storyline goes, the story was interesting. I'd probably give that, like, a 4. But as, like, a romance, like a 2 or a 3, because it wasn't very romantic. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm done. I'm going to go on to the next book now. Okay, bye. You guys, I just started Off Limits by J.A. Lowe. I'm in bed. I just finished my lovely Flex-A-Touch machine over here. Where's that? There it is, right there. Anyway, just finished it. I'm only like 10% in. Holy crap. This is a strong start to a book. So it starts off with this woman getting married. I can't remember, why am I drawing a blank on her name? Anyways, she's getting married and her fiance is like a football star in the NFL, I'm pretty sure. And she's got her bridesmaids and they're all celebrating. And then she decides to sneak over to his hotel room, even though it's against tradition, right? Because she wants to have a little quickie the night before the wedding, and walks in on him, sleeping with her friend who is pregnant, and overhears them talking about he's the baby daddy. Oh my goodness. So she like does a runaway bride with all of her friends and her brother, and has left the hotel, and is not getting married to him. And I'm like, wow, I'm like really intrigued now. I wonder what's going to happen. It's a really good start. I'm going to go read now. Bye. Good evening. I am back again with another update. And you guys are probably like, why are you always doing an update like late in the evening in the same nightgown? Because this is just usually when I have a chance to update you. Just took my shower, getting ready to jump into the Flex-A-Touch yet again. And I swear to you that I own more than one nightgown. So I love the stupid tank top nightgowns from Walmart that look like old lady moo nightgowns. So they were on sale like a year or 2 back for like $10 on clearance. And the only color they had left was blue. So I ended up buying like 4 of these blue tank top old lady nightgowns. And I freaking love them. I wear them all year round. Also, I'm on the upper story of our house, so it's always really hot up here. So like even in the middle of winter, I wear like a tank top, moo nightgown from Walmart. And I kind of want to go back next summer when they have these out again because I need some new colors. Don't knock it until you try them. They're super comfortable. Anyway, that's not why you are here. So I finished reading Off Limits by J.A. Lowe a little bit earlier today, and I have to say I actually really liked this book. It was not what I was expecting. So last time I updated you guys, she had been left at the altar, or not really, she didn't leave, she didn't get left at the altar. Let me rephrase that. She did a runaway bride on him because she found her fiance cheating on her the night before her wedding because he was a 2-time man whore. So she decides to pull a runaway bride, and her friends take her on this trip that would have been like her honeymoon. They decided to just take her there and let her just enjoy herself anyway and just be a man-hating lady. And she meets this guy named Noah, and they immediately are attracted to each other and hit it off. But she's like, I literally just broke up with my fiance and I don't need a relationship. And her friends are like, just have a one-night stand. And she's like, I can't. I'm just not emotionally ready for that. So they talk, hit it off, go their separate ways. Well then, as these stories go, a few months later, she ends up getting a job, and he happens to be one of the owners of the company that she gets a job at. Hello, an employee-boss relationship. And as these tropes tend to go, they fight their attraction to each other for quite a bit of a ways through the book, and then finally act on their feelings, and so on and so forth. I will say this is a little bit more lighthearted than what I typically read. The author tried to throw in some romantic suspense twists at the end, which I think really helped the story, because for a while there, I was like, okay, first of all, they need to get together. This is a slow burn for sure. And then when they got together, I was like, this is so cheesy. Not in a bad way, but just cheesy and a little bit more lighthearted than what I typically read. And then at the end, she throws in some twists and it was really good. This is the first of a trilogy. So the other two guys you hear about in this book, and also you see the relationships form in this book, and you hear hints of the relationship, but you don't actually see the full story until you get to their book. So I don't know that I will continue this or not. I did really enjoy this book. I ended up giving it 4 stars, but it is lighthearted, a little bit cheesy at times, but a fun book to read. So I actually really liked this one. And then this afternoon, I started reading Broken Beast. I can't remember who the author is, but I'll put the cover up here so you guys can see the cover. This is the Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I'm not very far into this. I think I'm only like 60% in or so, because I had a meet and greet with a dog geek. I might be a dog mom by the end of the week. Anyway, that's not why you're here either, but I really am enjoying this one so far as well. So it starts off with, can't remember her name, but the woman who is an arts dealer of erotic art, and she's taking a piece to a client who has bought the piece, and they like have this little attraction. She thinks he's really hot. She thinks she's beautiful. And as she's leaving, after, she drops off this piece of art to him, she recognizes him as being this tech mogul who ended up having a horrific crash like a year prior, and his brother died in the crash, and he's got all scars. He's Beauty and the Beast. He's got scars, and he's kind of emotionally withdrawn and all that. And so I guess he's the Beast character, and then he contacts her about, hey, I want you to come see me tomorrow for a proposition. And she's thinking it's to buy more art, but it's actually to ask her if she will pose as his wife because his family is being real overbearing since the accident and want his happiness. And so he decides to ask her to fake a relationship, and he's going to pay her $1 million to stay married to him for a year. So this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling / fake dating trope. I like it so far. I'll be interested to see how this all works out. Yeah. So far, so good. We'll see. Back with another update, and I apologize in advance because I'm in my office / guest room, and this is the room that has the super loud air return. So I hope you guys can hear me okay. I have my microphone so that hopefully that knocks out some of that air sound, but popping in with an update. So I am about 40% through Broken Beast, and I started the audiobook for Waking Olivia, which I had downloaded the Kindle book, but I found out that my library has it on Hoopla. So I decided to try listening to it so that I could try to get some of the book read while I'm working this week. It's a pretty busy week at work. But anyway, about 40% through Broken Beast. I do really like this book a lot. It is a long book. It's like 400 something. It's 450, I'm wanting to say, Kindle pages, if I have the right number, but it's a pretty long book. So I'm only like 160 something pages through the book, and it's only like 40%, or is it 38? I don't know, whatever. I'm around 40% through the book. I do really like the story. So far, I'm having a little bit of trouble getting into it because at this point, there's been an introduction to a lot of characters. I still love the main couple, like they're great. But some of the other characters I'm kind of like having trouble getting into and figuring out how they add to the story. I do like the brother character. I think he's a nice comic relief to the book, which I think is needed. But just trying to keep track of all the characters is where I'm at. So far, I do really like it. I just made it past their first sex scene of the book, which was very much it's not really a slow burn, but the anticipation leading up to it was great. There was a lot of like sexual chemistry and like they really wanted to be together, and to see them finally act on it was really nice. So far, I think that the character of the Beast is written very well. He has a lot of secrets, and he's very ashamed of himself and like nervous about showing his true self to others. So I really like the book. It is a little bit, for me, a slow read, and it's a long book, but I'm very much enjoying it. As far as Waking Olivia goes, I don't think I'm about 50% of the way through the audiobook because it's been a busy work week. There's been a lot of audiobooking going on. But I really like this one. This definitely reads as more of like a new adult almost. So you have a college, in case you didn't know, it's like a college age runner or track star, and then starting a relationship with her coach. At this point of the book, they both I think are getting closer to each other, but neither one of them is acting on their feelings. Like, she's attracted to him, he's attracted to her, but nobody's acting on it yet. So this is definitely like a slow burn. Has a little bit of a young feel because of her being in college. But basically, she has a lot of past trauma, and the big thing in this book is that she, instead of sleepwalking, she sleep runs. So her coach she starts this new college, and her coach is like, why are you always tired? You're always exhausted. I saw you out running like 9 miles the day before a big race. Like, what's wrong with you? And he finds out that she sleep runs. So then he takes her over to the ranch that's owned by his mother, and he's trying to keep an eye on her the nights before the races to make sure she doesn't sneak out of the house and go sleep running. But they know it's connected to trauma, because when he goes to catch her to keep her from running away and doing this like night running, she's screaming and crying and trying to get away from someone. So it's a sign to him that like something has happened to her in the past that she's really traumatized from, but she's not willing to tell him what it is. So at this point in the book, like, he's feeling very protective of her. He's starting to fall for her, but he's trying to put a brakes on it because obviously he's her coach. And there's an age gap between the two of them, but it's not a huge age gap. I'm thinking he's probably in his late 20s, maybe? I don't know if they actually tell you the age range, but she's like college age and he's like late 20s. So it's at max maybe a 10-year age difference. So people are like, oh my goodness, a coach and a student. It might be 8 to 10-year age difference, I think, if I have the math correct in my head. So it's really not that much of an age difference. And I really like it. I think if things go well today, I should be able to finish the audiobook either today or tomorrow. So cross your fingers. I'm a little worried about Broken Beast though, because I wanted to get this vlog up this week, and like, this book has taken me a while to get through. So we'll see. We'll see. Carrying on. I am back for my final update, and if you see the blinking in the background, it's because I have my fan on. It's always really hot up here all year round, so the fan pretty much runs the entire year. But I finished reading Broken Beast and Waking Olivia last night, so I wanted to go ahead and wrap up this reading vlog for you guys. Starting off with Broken Beast, I ended up really liking this book. The author did a really good job with the Beast character. He's not the Beast that you think of when you think of Beauty and the Beast, like a mean guy who's just like angry all the time. He's not really that way. He's almost more, I want to say, depressed, kind of. He's really caught in the loss of his brother. And one of the big hangups he has is that in this car accident, he got basically scarred up. So he has scars from his face is a little scarred, but he's from the neck down. He's like nothing but scars. And he's really embarrassed by it. And people stare at him funny. So he always wears like long sleeve shirts and high neck shirts because he doesn't want anyone to see his scars. And so he's more depressed and like withdrawn and very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like quiet. And he wants to keep to himself because he's afraid of people not liking the way he looks and whatnot. And then the female character was actually the stronger character in this particular book. She's extremely strong-willed, strong-minded. She knows who she is. She knows what she wants. And she makes the moves on him, which I thought was kind of cool. And watching the two of them come together, it is the kind of book where, like, you see them slowly unlayer the peels of the onion. You know what I mean? Like, slowly unlayer these certain peels until at the end of the book when they actually are together in a intimate scene and he takes his clothes off all the way. Because prior to this, all of the scenes he has been kept covered up. And in this particular one, he finally lets her see all of him the way he is. And it's a huge breakthrough in their relationship. I enjoyed the book. I did give it 4 out of 5 stars, and the only reason I knocked it down to 4 stars is because I felt like it dragged on a little bit. This was a long book. There were a lot of characters in the book. I don't know if this is setting it up for a series, maybe, but I felt like there were a lot of characters and a lot of scenes that were not necessarily needed unless you're trying to develop characters for later books in the series kind of thing. So I'll have to look and see if that's the case. But I felt like it dragged on a little bit, and actually when I got about 3/4 of the way through the book, I sort of started skimming some of the scenes until I got to the actual scenes between the couple, because that's what I wanted to hear about. Is like, how are you guys going to fall in love and make this work? And some of the other scenes, I was just like, I kind of don't care, so I started skimming. So that was the only complaints I had with it. It's a great book. It was a very long book, and there were some scenes I just felt like a little bit draggy. But I still gave it 4 stars because, I mean, it's a great love story and I really enjoyed this couple a lot. So if you like Beauty and the Beast retellings, I do recommend that you check this one out. And then I have to be honest, my favorite book out of all the books I've read for this vlog is definitely Waking Olivia. I 100% understand why this was on everyone's TBR list last year and why so many people spoke about it, because it's such a good book. It is a slow burn for sure. The couple doesn't even get together until like way towards the end of, almost the end of the book. It's like way through the book. And just seeing how they fight their attraction to each other, and he's worried about that he's her coach and he'll lose his job, and she doesn't want to ruin his life. And then there's this whole subplot about the trauma that happened in her childhood that finally comes to light, and you see why she's the way she is and why, you know, she's having all these nightmares and the sleep running, and him having to come to terms and help her with that. It was so well done. This was definitely a 5-star read. Even though it reads young, it reads almost like new adult. It's one of my favorites, and I highly recommend it. 5 stars for sure. It was on my TBR anyway, but the Facebook ad just pushed me to buy it, and I love this book. I actually bought the Kindle version because I loved it so much. So definitely check out Waking Olivia. And those are the books I read off of Facebook ads. Thank you guys for sticking around for this super long vlog. I don't usually do reading vlogs. I'm trying to incorporate more of these this year. So if this is something you like, let me know. If this is something you don't like, let me know. Because I'm also okay if you're like, hey, this is boring and I don't care about it. Let me know. It's all good. I'm going to do a couple more of these. And let me know if you've read any of these 4 books, or let me know if you found a book off a Facebook ad, what book that was, and why you liked it so much. All right, guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye.